The YouTube video, this is a different setting. I'm here in my office because I wanted to do a quick video on just a lot of questions that you all have about SLB or working at SLB. And it's super early today. It's so dark outside. It's 6 a.m. And I had to get here early because I wanted to avoid traffic. And I live super far away. So if you're moving to Houston, watch out with where you live. I wouldn't change it in the world. I live super far up north, but just know that the commute is super long. And before I get into starting work early and getting all my stuff done, I want to do a quick YouTube video because it's been months and months since I haven't done one. And yeah, I've received a lot of questions as usual about just working at SLB, going through a career here, how to prepare for an interview, etc. And I guess my disclaimer is always this is my personal opinion as an employee in my own YouTube channel, nothing to do with the company. I'm not being asked to talk about SLB. I'm not getting paid to talk about SLB. And so I think I like to just mention that because when I look at reviews online about different companies, it makes me feel good to know that it's coming from an employee and not an ad or something that they recorded themselves, etc. And so if you've seen any of my videos in the past, I've been here for a little over 11 years. I started in the field as a wireline field engineer in Alberta, and then I moved to Midland, and then I've been in Houston really ever since. I did a little bit of a stint in Mexico for a year and a half in sales, and then I came back to Houston in communications, and I take care of the internal communications for a division here at SLB. And I also take care of the executive communication for our president, pretty much helping him with his PowerPoints for certain events, his LinkedIn, and any the manager's webcast, anything that has to do internally. So a lot of what I do is only internal facing, but it's been a really great role so far. I'm going to be here a little over a year soon in November, at the end of November. But anyways, back to the original point of this video, which was I received so many questions about just working here, what it's like, what the culture is like, and also how to prepare for an interview. And so I guess I'll start with preparing for an interview. I did my interview in Canada at McGill University 12 plus years ago, before I graduated. I am sure by now things maybe have changed, but at the end of the day, I think it really applies at any year of at any year in time, this kind of advice. So, I think if you're going to a career fair and you want to make a good impression, it all starts with just how you're dressed, how you've brushed your hair, how you look. And I know it's kind of shallow to say those kind of things, but first impressions do matter. And if you don't look like you've got that executive presence early on, they're going to gravitate towards somebody that looks the part, looks the job, looks professional, etc. So I would spend a little bit of time on what you're wearing and just how do you present yourself, etc. You also have less than, I would say, 10 seconds to really get a good impression with a good handshake, with presenting yourself, a little bit of an elevator pitch. So just, hi, my name is Maciel. I'm a third year chemical engineering student here at McGill. I would like XYZ. This is the kind of company I want to work for, etc. I also think it helps when you've done a little bit of research and you know about SLB and you can say, you're a global technology company and you just rebranded a few years ago and this is where you work and this is the kind of products that you sell and kind of services that you do. I think as a recruiter, which I've never been, but I have helped at quite a bit of recruiting fairs, is somebody that knows about the company really truly helps me know that they did their research, that they looked us up, and that they care. When you come up to the booth and say, "Who are you? What's SLB? What do you guys do?" It just automatically, in my opinion, turns me off in the sense that it feels like you're just here to like say hi, but you're not serious about a job. And when there's so many people who are serious about a job, it really helps when you've got all of it together and you're like, I've researched you, I know who you are, I know who your CEO is. I mean, you can do a lot of research, which is nice because when I was going through my interview, there wasn't that much about SLB online. Now I feel like there's quite a bit. You can look at videos like this, etc. And so that's the first one, really like first impression, come prepared, know what you want. Second is make sure you do a real research about what life is like in the field. If you want to go the field route, which I would assume most of you do when you're coming into this company early on as engineers, is you're going to do a little stint in the field, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, I don't know. It's quite different for everybody. It's quite unique, but you will do the field at some point early on if you choose a field engineer path. I think this is where it's really important for people to do their research and watch videos from different employees or just read reviews online, because you want to know what you're getting yourself into. There's nothing worse than applying, getting through a super difficult round of interviews, etc. And then you start working in the field, and then after a week, you're like, I absolutely hate this. I didn't know I had to work at night. I didn't know I had 12-hour shifts. I didn't know I had this. I didn't know I had 24-hour shifts. I didn't know I had to, sleep somewhere out on location. There's just so much research that needs to be done on the field to make sure that this is something that you want to sign up for and it's something that you like and that you want to stick with, because it's going to be long days if depending on what kind of role you do in the field. But so I would say, like, do your research, because there's nothing worse than just like wasting your time but also other people's times in terms of what you have to do. Third is, we are a global company in the sense that we probably work in over 86 countries. I don't know the exact number. And so just know that you have to have quite a bit of a broad cultural sense to you. And it's normal that maybe you don't yet. You've always lived in this country where you're applying and you've never left the country. That's fine. But just come in with a really open mindset that you could be sent anywhere in the world and that you need to learn how to work with people from different cultures, from different backgrounds, from different languages, etc., who do things very differently. And so I think number one is open mindset in order to be successful in this company, and also just saying yes to challenges and saying yes to the adventure, because there's a lot of ups and downs and you're always given new opportunities. And so I think it's important to come with an open mindset of what you want to do. Another thing that I think, for people who've asked, how do I get a job here? I think I always like to remind people that I am in North America. A lot of maybe my advice is for people who are in the US or Canada, where it's quite similar in maybe the hiring process and it's what I am used to. I think in different countries it's quite different. You have to do different types of exams, different kinds of tests, different round interviews. I think here for the US and Canada, it's pretty simple. I would say it's either you get an interview at the career fair and you can do an internship, which is what I did, or you do like the first or second round interviews for field engineers. And then I think they still have like the field engineer camp, which is like a week where they gather people from across the country and you get to visit Midland or North Dakota, or I don't really know where they go anymore, but they go to different oil field cities. You kind of get a touch to it. You go to different facilities and see what a shop looks like, what your day to day would look like. You even go and do field visits, which is really nice. But remember, it's a real quick snapshot of this is what the field looks like. Great, meet a few people, but realize this is going to be your life for the next few years. So I think you also need to take everything with a grain of salt when you're experiencing this, because it's beyond that. And I think everything looks really awesome and great at the beginning when you just meet a few people. But I would really do my research and make sure that it's a good fit for you. For me, it was a great fit. I was in the field for 5 years and I absolutely loved it. And I tell everybody that you should try it out because it's awesome. But I also know a lot of people who started with me who absolutely hated it and left. And so you need to get different opinions, and then also just create your own opinion and try it out if that's something that you want to do, because I think field experience is invaluable. It's made me who I am today, and it's helped me in my career in so many ways because I know what the field is like. And so I think that's important. And I didn't want to make this video super long. I want to keep it to 10 minutes, and then I'll do another video with answering a few more questions. But people have always asked about just culture and what it's like working here. Again, I want to talk about just my experience when it comes to the US and Canada, because it's really what I know. And I've always loved working here because I feel like I have autonomy. I am trusted to do my job. There isn't a lot of micromanagement, because even in the field, like, you're trusted to go get your stuff done in the field. And your manager's not there and you're young, you're like 22 years old and you're handling millions of dollars worth of tools, of equipment, and you're trusted that you are smart enough to go figure it out and go get it done. And I think that's something that I've always enjoyed about this company, is the let me do my job, and if I do it well, leave me alone. Like, that's what I like. So it's a lot of autonomy, a lot of responsibility, and a lot of ownership. And I think if you like that kind of environment where you don't necessarily want your hand held, then this is a great company for you. However, there's pockets everywhere in any company where that isn't the case and you're being micromanaged, etc. I would say for a good majority of my career, I've been able to do what I do best and kind of just go show my results and show my work and been left alone to perform and do what I need to do best. However, that depends on the kind of manager you have, etc. But I'm just talking overview of my career, and I think that's what I like the most is just the ownership and accountability that you can drive your career the way you want it to. Another quick tip, because I know I'm over 10 minutes, is on the networking. You need to know how to network early on in your career. And I think it's something that people never thought it was important. I never really thought it was important until I was doing it and I realized how powerful it is. But it's important for you to network with people, to reach out to people before you join the company and ask questions, send them an email. Can I take you for coffee? I want to learn more about this company, etc. And I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 times, people are going to say yes because people are willing to help you. People are willing to talk about their career. People are willing to talk about their jobs, etc. And so I really think it's important for you to do that. And I think reaching out to people is really important if you want to learn a little bit more about the company. And there's only so much that I can tell you through a video, but reach out to people, go for coffee with people, reach out to leadership, ask them questions about why you should come work here. Because I think it's a two-way street. We want you to come work here. You want to come work here, but at the same time, there needs to be value on both ends because there's so much competition and just so many good jobs out there that are a great fit for you that I think as a company or as leadership, we should also explain to you why we're great and why you should come have a career here because there's such a big fight for talent, etc., especially with the tech company, etc., and just the oil and gas industry not being as exciting as maybe it used to be years ago. And so I think we need to also do a job at showcasing what a career could look like here and just the adventure that is waiting for you. But again, this is my personal opinion. I've always been super transparent with all of you. There's a lot of ups and downs. I've been extremely happy. I've been extremely left down and depressed. Just kind of like life or like any relationship. It's going to be hard sometimes, it's going to be good sometimes. But I always go back to the overall satisfaction is there. And that's why I'm still making a video after 11 years. But I hope this helped. I will be doing a second video because I just didn't want them to be super long on 5 other questions that I received about recruiting, company, how to get ahead in your career, how to network.